finish after the Stein nerf, another Stein nerf, evil skeletons nerf, firecracker nerf, evil cannon nerf, 3-card cycle removal. I don't think so. All right, the number one Hog Earthquake player last season, not even close. All right, so I actually didn't manage to save any replays because I shared them in the clan, right? Knowing that the supercell would delete my battle log because of the maintenance break. But now apparently they also delete the shared replays. But my boy Levy came in clutch. All right, he managed to save a few replays from live actually when I was pushing end season. So we'll be looking at those today. You know, kind of like examining the little bit of footage I actually managed, you know, to capture. So you know, I at least have something. I did finish top 18 in the world last season, tying my old best finish, which I'm happy about it. All right, I'm mainly happy about it because I feel like this finish was a lot more like deserved because the previous time where I finished top 18, it was with like Stein lightning deck. I basically made like a completely new deck to like counter the meta, but like this season, it was just like with classic Hog card, no shenanigans, all right. So I you know I'm more proud of this finish. Anyways, here in the first game against Evolve, this was probably one of the most face matchups last season. It was either this or RG. I feel like literally every other game was either mine or poison with minions or just like RG, and those matches they just sucked, man. I was winning them like at the end, but they're just not what I wanted to face, man. It was I was praying I was praying so hard to face like any mortar decks, any like big decks, just like anything along those lines. Nope. Nope. I think I faced like one mortar and then like one Pekka deck, so those were like pretty free. I like flawless both of them. Um but yeah, except for that, the season was not too kind for me. But anyways, here in the first game against Evolve, this Spear Goblin did lock on the tower a little bit. It got like 400 damage or something, so I was not too happy about it because I did have like a pretty good lead at the start. I think I went for like a second hog because I can like outcycle him, I think. So like the second hog got like what 2 hits or something, and like the earthquake. But yeah, in this matchup, you never want to go like same lane, which I do here. And then also the other minor games I have in this video because there all the footage I got are it maybe not be like the perfect games because I was reading some like crazy matchups, man. I was reading lava vines with like arrows, minor stuff like that. I was just on fire, man. I was reading like balloon building tornado. I 3 crowned the guy, all right. So you know, still there's some very good games here. But anyways, hey, you don't really wanna go same lane because they're just gonna keep like you can't really stack firecrackers. You can really they can poison the mighty mire at the back. That's all I'm saying. All right, so it's really not optimal. But heroes get like already kind of stuck going same lane. I could have like switched up to opposite. You know, I made like a slight attempt here, but I was like, yeah, you know, it's like 1400 damage. It's nothing. You know, it's not a small amount. But here I go for Hog Evil Count. I think this Hog actually gets a hit because the opponent was like a little bit late on the minions. Like I was just like waiting for my what's it called, for my evil cannon prediction. But heroes go for evil wall breakers. I think I cycle back to another cannon. Man, whenever you're defending evil wall breakers, you usually want to go for the cannon. You can go for E Spirit, Bar Barrel. I do go for it, you know, like a few times. But with evil cannon, it just I just prefer going for or like for normal cannon because it also cycles to the evil cannon, which is you need evil cannon if you want like any chance of breaking through in this matchup. Because the main way you're getting damage is by going for a hog and then going for bar barrel on the hut if they play it high or if they play it low, you know, just going for earthquake. But usually, you know, they're gonna go for like minions or something, and then they're gonna like skeletons the bridge, predicting your firecracker. So you really need the evil cannon if you want like again any chance of like actually breaking through. But yeah, minions are like very annoying in this matchup, like not just for like defense, also in offense, because if they go for like minor minions, like let's say like opposite, I think you're like same. They have like firecracker in like a weird position. It's just I don't know, man. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. But here the Gull actually got 1 hit. So at this point, I was like, okay, I definitely lost this game because now I'm down damage while going same lane. So that's really not something like a position you want to be in as a Hog Orca player. But here he played like a very bad hut, so I go for Hog E Spirit, knowing that he'd you know play like skeletons or minions or something. So the E Spirit just get like insane value. Here I go for a firecracker, good firecracker. But the Myers going dealing like so much damage. I do have to go for Barbell and then E Spirit just like retarget it, which I think I go for that play like a few more times in this game, because it's just important to like preserve like all the minor damage that you can, because you usually have to mighty for the ghost, and then you don't really have like much for my. Here I go for another E-Spirit Barbell, just knowing that I have to protect my tower, right? I knew that he would be able to cycle back on our poison, so I just go for a Hog. There, apply a little bit of pressure, just trying to do something, and I win the game by like 9 HP, man. This one was I think this was like the last game I played that like counted, so I was very happy with this one. Here in the second game against Capgam, Lavi actually didn't manage to capture this full game, but I mean the start was basically no, it was nothing important happened, right? I took like a little bit of damage. I think I had like 2 mortar hits, because my cycle was kind of like bad. But yeah, I go for a Hog there, knowing that his mortar was out of cycle, because he was playing a lot of offensive mortars, which is really like not a play in this matchup. He doesn't have like that great Hog defense. He does have the minions and like I guess Evo Valk. But like except for that, not always gonna be back to Evo Valk. Firecracker for the minions. Just usually they have to like, at least for like the most part, play mortars on defense, especially if they're going opposite lane. This guy was going opposite lane for like the most part, so yeah, here goes for another offensive mortar again. Just not the play, just locks on the can, tanks for, I guess, for the on the barbell first. But yeah, it goes for a Goblin Stein into my can, which not really that good. To go for like a Hawk here with like the Evo can. I tried like position my Evo can to hit the Evo Valkyrie. I kind of like missed it. If I did hit that though, it would get like a lot of damage. I think at least like 2 hawk hits. So a little bit of a mistake on my end. But yeah, at this point I knew that this guy didn't have like arrows or fireball or something. I knew he had I didn't knew, but I was like 90% sure he had a lightning. He actually do take one goblin hit there, but it's not the end of the world, still up like 600 damage. So he does have the Mire, but again, no arrows, just lightning. So I knew that if I just like kept going opposite lane, I'm just applying like decent pressure while defending, I would most likely when he does go for a miner on the firecracker, I do protect it with a pretty heads up play. Again, no arrows, so you can't really like kill those firecrackers unless he does goes for like a lightning or like directly for a miner them. So protecting them is like really important in these matchups against mortar. Also against like other mortar decks, you want to protect your firecrackers like as much as possible. And this one specifically, he just can't kill them. I mean, he could like lightning here, but I mean that just wouldn't be that much value. You go for a Hog there, just knowing that I have my firecrackers there, so I wanted to like protect them a little bit. The more does take a hit on them, killing one and like almost killing the second one. But here does go for just like a miner. I go for a mighty here, and here I go for a pop because the miner would have activated my king tower, but the firecracker actually shot it. As you can see, the miner got like yoinked to the king tower, but the firecracker getting the one hit actually kind of fucked me, because having king tower against any miner deck is just pretty important. It's gonna basically allow you to like almost always fully counter with just like E-Spirit skeletons, because usually it does get like some damage, or even just like with skeletons I think it fully counters it. But here the firecracker actually like pierces onto the tower a little bit, gets like 200 damage, and he's just going for a miner's opposite. And he did catch it there actually, which was pretty good catch by me. And then this insane Evo cannon just hitting the mortar, killing the minions. That was just such a good play. Like at this point I was like, okay, I'm winning this. He needs like 2 lightnings plus like maybe some like miner damage. He goes for a lightning for the first time onto the other lane, because I mean I had 2 firecrackers there, and then just goes for this like weird mortar. And then here I was like, all right, I just have like catch the next miner, make sure it doesn't do like 500 damage, or be tanked for by like the stun or something. Is like take my tower. But he has to go for another Hawk, knowing that his mortar was out of cycle. He goes for like a last ditch effort push here, but it's just not gonna work. And we do take this pretty flawless win, I would say. If you thought the last game was short, lower your expectations. Levy managed to capture like 50 seconds of this last game. Just I still want to show it though, because I made like a pretty like heads up play there at the end. I go for a mighty opposite, knowing that he try like apply some sort of pressure, because I knew if he just kept going for like rockets, he would eventually get like 3 crowned, because he can like defend Hogs that well, because I'll add like a lot of damage to his king tower. This is like one of the games I really wanted to show like in full, because I feel like I play like basically flawlessly. But yeah, again, L supercell. Anyways, here pay close attention to the mighty on the left. It goes for a rocket, and here goes for goblins. I just popped the mighty ability, which basically allowed the mighty to just like stand there like in the middle between like the hawk and the king tower, right? Also with the barbell that I played, like the skeletons, so it basically prevented him from going for a tornado on king tower, which would have kind of like saved him. I mean, he might have gotten 3 crown in that case, but So force out Tornado, force out Lock, Ice Spirit, and he goes for a Valk as well. So here just go for another Hawk, knowing that he's not quite back to Nado, goes for Goblins, goes for another Nado. Hawk does not get a hit, unfortunately, but I mean, at this point, I just knew it was over 15 seconds left. He could get one more rocket down, and I knew here, I just knew he would go for a Hawk, and just look at this. He goes for a prediction rocket on the cannon. I'm in his head, bro. I'm in his head, going for a cannon, just completely to the side. E-Spirit Earthquake, just making sure it doesn't get anywhere near. And then I just started BMing the guy because this guy, I don't like this guy, man. So yeah, just you can enjoy the BM for a few more seconds here. Again, if you thought the last few games were scuffed, we're watching this one from Morden's POV. I just wanted to, assemble as many games as I could. So I knew Morton was streaming, and I faced him 2 times actually. So, just for extra content, this is kind of like a take just from Morton stream. So hopefully you guys still like it. It's another, against another minor poison, but I feel like I play these games like pretty well. So yeah, very very. I still want to show them, right? Just like get you get a little bit more con to you guys because again, just Supercell kind of fucked me with the replays. But yeah, here does go for a miner. I think I just catch it with a mighty. He goes for wall breakers again. Just cannoning for the wall breaker. Just like such a heads up play because cycling to the Evo cannon. It's just so important on offense because just you really don't have any other way of killing the minions. I mean, you have the firecracker, but it just not really gonna be that good, especially when they have like skeletons, barbell, mighty to block it. So yeah, more than actually have a mighty miner in this version, not the evil ghost, which was like a little bit weird. He did have the evil skeletons and evil wall breakers, so not sure what that all was about. But here the one skeleton actually got on tower, which I was kind of sad about that because I was like, damn, bro, it's like the last tower, already down 600 damage, to a fairly good player. So yeah, definitely wasn't happy. So here I knew I had to kind of like go opposite. I do pop there, go for a might in here. Just again, just showing how like broken minions are in like these scenarios. I think he messed up the evil skeletons there. Just went like slightly too soon because E-Spear just got like some insane chain value there. Let's be honest. But yeah, here I think I go for a can. One wall breaker connects, and at this point, I'm just down like so much damage, and he also has the minion gets a hit as well. He also has like so much damage on the R side to where I can't really like go opposite because he can just like go same lane as well, and he's already gonna be up like 600 damage or like I think 800 at this point. So yeah, it was really not looking too good for me here. I go for a fire. He just goes for Mire exactly on it. So at this point, I was kind of crying honestly because it was just not good. I had to go for E-Spirit, and I mean at this point he's just up 1,000 damage. Even if he do go same lane, otherwise just up like 1,200. But yeah, I knew I had to do something here. So I go for like a very like interesting play. I go for a hog at the back, which used to be like a good play against me, like cycle decks. I haven't like used it that much like recently. It can work, right? But I don't know, it's just kind of like awkward because most decks nowadays have like at least like something to like defend the first hog, and then the second one's kind of worthless. But I do go for the evil can there actually, not quite hitting the minions, but like slightly later would have hit them. But again, just hog getting like 2 hits because hog the back type shit. But I do go for a firecracker there. He does go for the barber. I thought the minion was actually gonna hit it, so I didn't even like bother going for the what's it called, like protecting it. But yeah, this point he's like going on the left for some reason. I guess he doesn't want to go same lane, which like a pretty big mistake is has to go same lane. But here I go for a hog, and here I think here something funny happens if you if you place a hog like in the back and they go for like a building like to this side, hog is just gonna like run to the R lane, which I think Morton was like pretty surprised here as well. But the hog actually gets 3 hits, which was like very good. At this point I was only down like 300, but again going same lane, he goes for a poison there. So yeah, I was really not happy. I think here I could just go for I think E-Spirit Barbell. Yeah, because again, just like this, or I don't have E-Spirit in Cycle actually, but still, Barbell's like mitigating like some damage. But I mean, again, at this point, just down like 1,000 damage. I go for a hog opposite, just knowing that if I go single lane, it's just not gonna work, man. But kind of bad skeletons again. Hog does get 1 hit, and I go for a hog gets actually 2 hits. I didn't even know that, bro. Nerf hog. But I go for a firecracker. Maybe not like the best firecracker. I try to like protect it, but it just didn't work out. And here I actually kind of like outcycle him surprisingly. So he does go for like wall breakers, and then for like a late goblin hut, which just allowed me to barbell. He does go for evil skeletons, but the hog just getting another hit. Just I don't know how. I got like a really good defensive mighty mire ability on like the wall breakers and the minions you guys saw. So that was like, helped like a fair bit. He goes for mighty there, I guess just like trying to push the hogs like I guess like instinctively, but here the firecracker predicting the minions just allowed me to have like so much momentum. I predict the miner with the skeletons, and here he just goes for like a very late goblin hut again, just getting predicted with it, or not even like predicted, just like clipped with the evil cannon. Hog gets 2 hits, and at this point I was like, damn, bro, I'm just goaded, man. And I also knew the game was over. More than actually one of the few people like understands when the game is over and doesn't like continue blindlessly in hopes of winning somehow. So big respect for that. Here in the second one against Morton, you can see we're both like a lot higher because the second game took place, I think like almost an hour like after the first one. So we both kind of pushed up, or at least me. I think Morton's like still pushed up, but like not as much. I think I'm like up like 200 miles from the first game though, something like that. But yeah, they're good for the hog. They're just kind of hoping that he wouldn't have barbell and cycle. Just a good like heads up play. Just going for, if they're playing Mire Poison, why not go for a hog first play? I mean, there's like a 50% chance that they don't have a building in cycle. So why not take the chances? It's not like they're gonna punish you insanely defending your hog. I mean, sometimes it can happen, but usually you'll be fine. Here he has like a little bit of an awkward side, has to go for a barbell on the mighty. Probably would have preferred to go for skeletons or something, but he does have the king tower pretty early, so I was not like that happy about it. He just goes for pretty good minions there, kind of blocking, or like kind of blocking the hawk. It still gets 1 hit though, which I was surprised. And then the Viker actually turned around. I'm not sure how it didn't like lock on the bar barrel, but the fact that they killed minions just pretty much put me in like such a good position to where I didn't have like overextend on defense. And yeah, the existing Viker also like died, which would have helped in like a different scenario if it didn't have like a king tower already. But yeah, here it didn't like do anything. But again, just killing the minions was pretty huge. But yeah, in this game, Morton also has the Evo Ghost, and the last one he had the Mighty. So I think this one is like a little bit more challenging because Evo Ghost is just like a lot more annoying to defend, I would say. But here I go for the Firecracker, knowing that it would, pierce through the ghost onto the tower a little bit. It does, change targets to the Spirit Golem, but that's all good. We do get a little bit of that. And here I go for like a pretty good E-Spirit Barbell. Again, you can defend evil wall breakers that way, or I guess normal wall breakers too. But yeah, usually, if you can cannon, or at least for like the normal cannon, just go for that. But here goes for the evil ghost and the Firecracker. So here wasn't looking like too good for me, especially with the Galg being invisible. Had to go for like a mighty a little bit early. Go for a pretty good E-Spirit, just like chains onto anything. That was like a crazy E-Spirit. I'm not even sure how it managed to like clip all of them. But yeah, here Morton goes for Wallbreaker's Obelisk Lane, and you'll see him make that play like a few more times. And at one point, I decided to like ignore one Wallbreaker. I was kind of like debating, ignoring two, or like just ignoring one, because again, you want to go opposite lane. So if that means eating some damage opposite lane, just kind of like wanting them to go opposite lane, that's a good play. But here I went for like a firecracker. I don't know if you guys saw because I was like yapping. But yeah, I went for a firecracker, predicting the minions on the cannon, which is like usually when you go for a cannon hide, they'll just minions like straight away. But if you go for like a firecracker, just predicting it, just like it just works. Here I go for here I go for that again. Just evil firecracker on the minions. And then here's like a little bit low on elixir. Just have to go for the golem hut like last second, but the earthquake actually clips it. I didn't even know that it would like clip it in that position, but I guess because it is like a fatter building, the same way you can like fireball in like many more places than like a can or something, but I didn't know like for that exact placement. Anyways, we did get like 2 hawk hits there, so I was very happy about that. Here I didn't go for like an ability and then also a cannon because those evil wall breakers, man. I was like, all right, if he poisons and kills the skeletons, that's like, well, like 800 damage. I just did not want to take that, man. But anyways, yeah, here it goes for just like ghost. Unfortunately, I don't think we get a hit here because the ghost was locked onto the hawk for the most part of that. But yeah, here they just go for another like mighty ability onto the what's it called, onto the wall breakers, and they actually went for a cannon onto the miner with like the E-Spear, just knowing that I just cannot take any minor damage. If I start taking like 100 200 minor damage, it's just like eventually going to result in him just taking the damage lead. So I really didn't want that. Here just standard firecracker for the minions. Does get like take 1 hit, and here I could have protected the firecracker, but I didn't think that the barbell would miss it. So that was a little bit unfortunate. Hog almost getting a hit, but yeah, here I think at this point I kind of like outside me. I go for a Hog. I mean, he's already back to the Goblin Hut, but the Hog actually gets pushed because of the Maya. I just knew Morton was screaming here, man, because Hog getting 2 hits, last like what half an hour of the seasons. Yeah, definitely wasn't happy. Here, he still tries to like make somewhat of a comeback because there's like not much time left in the season. He can make a comeback. Just one bullshit ghost. It's realistically all it takes. But I just knew that if I lost this, then I don't even like deserve the finish that I got. So I had to lock it. Here I go for barbell E spirit onto the mine. Just the thing I talked about for like 20 times already in this video. Just such like an important play when you're going when you're like close in damage. But yeah, here with 6 seconds left, Morton realizes that it's over. Doesn't even like you know swallows his pride and just lets it go. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this like a little bit of a DIY video. I try like piece like all the games together. So if you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you boys tomorrow. Peace.